All right, welcome guys to another video. Something a little different, something a bit more special today. Um, just wanted to go through my 2024, my want list for 2024. I know it's already kind of almost end of first quarter and whatnot, but I want to put this together because I don't know, why not? Let's see where we get for the year, but this is kind of my want to buy list. I know I've been talking about slowing down buying, which I have, but it's like the prices are so good now. It's really hard to not buy at this moment. Um, yeah. So, anyways, without further ado, let's jump into it. This is I guess my first time of scripting stuff, so I hope it's okay. Move this down here. There, right. So number one on my want to buy list is X-Men number 101. And this is I have this one in 9.4, and I remember sending it in to get it signed by Chris Claremont. Just like absolutely beautiful cover. This is the first appearance of Phoenix. Later on becomes Dark Phoenix, and gosh, 139-ish books. The one with the White Queen cover, but just absolutely beautiful cover, homage to a lot. Population count, super rare. There's only 214 these at 9.8. I've seen these go for anywhere as low as 4 grand, highs of like 45 or higher, but I think that it's kind of hit a bottom. It's just so rare, hard to find, and I just love the Dark Phoenix saga in the X-Men animated series. And just Fox Studio never did the storyline justice because it was a movie. It's just too hard. So that's kind of number one on my want to buy list here. This is just a page out of the book where it's like, "Hear me, X-Men, no longer am I the woman you knew. I am fire, I'm life, incarnated forever. I am the Phoenix." And then, of course, just like in my cartoon, Jean Grey has to faint and say, "Oh, Scott, hold me," because I'm in overused my body. I've used more power than my body can handle. So, anyway, moving on to number two is X-Men number 100. And this is the old X-Men versus the new X-Men, or new X-Men versus old X-Men, however you want to see it. I guess left to right should be old X-Men versus new X-Men. Anyways, why I want it? Awesome art. I think awesome art is going to be a very consistent thing in this list here. Uh, Professor X is so angry that he's standing up. I've never actually read this book, but it's just a milestone number, number 100. I think back in the days, they were pretty amazed that they even got to 100. Who knew? I think they ended the series off well past 500. Because I have Uncanny X-Men number 500. So yeah, it's just not commonly seen. 109 of them, twice as rare, I guess, in 9.8. Even in like total census, in total graded 4.5 thousand. So yeah, I just think it's a cool looking cover, and would love to get one of these in my collection, my PC. Moving along, book number 3. I have had my heart and eyes set on this for the longest time. X-Men number 50. It's the first X-Men's new logo, and I just remember the X-Men anime series, which is kind of how I got into X-Men. It has like the electricity that goes inside, and this is just like the new X-Men logo. Like you notice, oh, it's 101. Oh yeah, okay. These are after already, but it's just that bold X-Men on a slant that Chris Claremont always likes to sign in. But this is just an iconic cover that's homaged quite often. There's a few of them out there signed by Jim Steranko. And yeah, first cover appearance of Polaris. Not the first appearance, first cover appearance. But which, in my opinion, like now books are being slabbed, like cover appearance is almost arguably more important. I mean, look at Hulk 181 versus 180. 180 is probably clearly well known as the first appearance of Wolverine, but the cover appearance is 181 is worth just a lot more. So, anyways, why want it again? Awesome cover art. Just the whole vibes, the whole green. And Polaris, I think, is really underrated. I mean, if we think about like the X girls, there's like Rogue, Psylocke, Phoenix, Jean Grey, Miss Marvel, Kitty Pryde, there's Jubilee, Polaris. You know, like Polaris is one of the ones where not a lot of people pay attention to her. And the reason why I think she's underrated is in the new like 2022 reboot of X-Men, they reboot it all the time. Polaris is one of the key members of the team. I mean, she controls magnetism, which is like Magneto. She's often coined like the daughter of Magneto, even though she's not. That's Wanda. But yeah, I think she's an awesome character. She's super cool. I think she was also in X-Men Evolution. I could be wrong, but she was also in one of the cartoons. So super rare. 29, like this is from 1968. So 29 of these just not commonly collected, 0.98 in the population, and this one goes for a pretty coin. So I probably won't be eyeing like a 9.8. Maybe when I first got into collecting, I should have picked one up as one of my first. It was always on my list. How I started collecting was I kind of plotted out all the characters that I wanted, and then I tried to get all the first appearances. And this was always, I mean, it's the second appearance, but this was always on my want to buy list. Just never gotten it. It's probably number three here because the price is quite a bit higher. And Polaris, in the scheme of things, like she's not a A-list character from what the mass media knows compared to like Phoenix. But in my opinion, I think she's pretty cool. Which leads us to, of course, number 49. 49 is the first appearance of Polaris. And you can see here the X-Men, the old logo, like it looks really dated. Kudos, I don't even know who designed the new X-Men logo, but it looks great. Very bold, just strong. This old one is kind of like, the X looks like it's like a stamp that you ripped off. Not sure what they were doing. But as you can tell, this one I dropped the awesome cover art because it's yeah, it's just okay. Don't know what's going on with this demon or monster underneath. Uh Jean Grey here, really short skirt, but she looks kind of like she's losing balance and a little yeah, anyways, not great. Angel's getting punched by Invisible Man or something. Like I don't know what he's doing. Beast looks like anyways, it's a rare one because it's also the last of the old X-Men title. And yeah, just one that I've always wanted to add to my collection. Very hard to find a 9.8. I've seen quite a few in 9.6, in the 9.0. I might end up just selling for a 9.0, which is a very respectable grade. I mean, with older books, you can't expect everything to be 9.8 all the time. Yeah. Moving along. Oh, this is number 5. Pardon me. Correct that now. So way. Number 5, X-Men number 1, the OG, the one that started it all. Though for those that haven't followed me for a while, I have a 0.5, as you're aware. And I think my 0.5 is nicer than the cover of this 1.0. The only problem with my 0.5 is the back. I mean, here you can see the Comic Code Authority here is kind of ripped off, but my my 0.5, the back half of it is gone, which is I'm totally okay with. I just would like a 1.0. A lot of times, like I don't really love 0.5 because 0.5 is like one is the lowest grade, which I'm fine with, but a lot of the 0.5s are the incomplete one. Page is missing, or centerfold's missing, or something is missing. In my case, half of the back of my book is missing. So yeah, I mean, I want a 1.0. I want a clean front 1.0 that's kind of damaged and brittle in the inside. The cover is usually the thing that takes a hit, so it's going to be tough for me to find. But the prices for these ones aren't all that bad. I mean, because I'm not expecting a 9.8, and 9.8, like the population is 0.03. So yeah, out of my price range, I'm never going to be able to afford a 9.8. But a pop 1.0, like I've started to really appreciate low grade books. They're more liquidable, a bit more history. I know they're not as pristine, but it's the same piece of history. It's the same book. So why not? It's easier to move if I ever need to liquidate or sell stuff for cash. Just generally easier in my opinion. So moving on. Did I do this for all of them? Number six. I'm just gonna pause this here. Oh, I can't pause. Did I not number these? Ha, well, well, well. Okay. I'm just gonna pause a second. I don't know if this is still recording. Pardon my noobness here. Okay, you know what? I think it's still recording. So I'm just gonna power through this. Number six here, the iconic ASM 300. I'm not like a huge Venom fan, but uh, Spider-Man in Black Suit was just so cool. I know everyone, probably in the modern world, remembers this as like Tobey Maguire being all weird and like dancing and looking evil and stuff, but it's a cool cover. I mean, in my opinion, I think ASM 252, the homage of AF-15, which is like the first um, appearance of the black suit costume, is, in my opinion, underrated. But I have two of those, so I'm done. I don't need more than two. I'd love for more than two, but I'm done with more than two, as you guys know from my Wolverine stuff. Anyways, but yeah, I've never had this cover. I think it's a great book. It's homaged all the time. Awesome Todd McFarlane cover. And it's hard. It's hard to get in good grade. I've seen a lot of like 9.6s, even 9.8s, where it's like the corners are soft. With CGC grading harder now. Yeah, I'd love to pick up a copy of this. There's a lot of them, a lot, but yeah, 36,000 of them graded with CGC, and probably a lot with CBCS as well. But it's still a low pop 9.8 because I think it's hard to grade. People love this cover, so they read it and they, wore it, I guess you can say. Moving on to number seven. I know, sorry, it says number six, but this is number seven. Number seven is, I think, a book I've talked about quite a bit. This is X-Men number one off the Jim Lee cover, but this is a variant, the Mexican fall variant, produced in 2019, limited to 500. It was given out, I think, at some convention mostly. I'm not too sure the history of it, but it's limited to 500 per cover, so A, B, C, D, 500 each. And it's foil. And I guess when I grew up, just all the inserts for cards, like Marvel collecting cards, all the inserts were like the cool ones. So when you get a book with foil, it's like, whoa, this is super cool. And it's not like the new ones where the folding is foil. This is just like partially foil. So like I think Beast, Storm, Jean Grey's little pink stuff, Xavier's car and Angel's wings or Archangel's wings are foil, is foil in all the right places. This book, it's pretty rare to find because a lot of them were signed raw by Jim Lee and maybe Scott Williams at this convention in Mexico. So a lot of them are CBCSs. A lot of them aren't great condition because I think when people caught them at the convention, they just signed them, put in their bag, and left. Uh, I guess the ones that are 9.8 blue or 9.8 signature series, the 9.8 SS were signed after the fact. They're just more rare. So I want to pick up something like this. I've always wanted this in my collection. I think the price is going to keep dropping because the foil variants are coming out for all the good books. Like Wolverine number one just came out. There's the X-Men 101, Giant Size X-Men, X-Men number four, number five. So they're definitely going to do number one, the Jim Lee cover in full foil. It's just a matter of time. This one will still be more limited print, and for those that really know like their books, will be like, oh yeah, this is the Mexican foil variant one. So yeah, and yeah, a little bit of cheating here. This is still number seven, and this is cover C, and this one, the beam looks so good. Uh, yeah, I I think this is actually a picture of a guy that lives locally to me, and I offered him $1,000 and he said no. And I think prices are gonna drop. So I'm kind of glad I didn't buy it for that much. But yeah, it's on my to buy list, number seven. And this one, it's so beautiful. Just shiny again in all the right places. And it's not too foily, it's just full in all the right places. So yeah, this one I think This one's worth the least because I guess no one really likes Beast, or Archangel as much. This one because Wolverine's on the cover, and this one Magneto because this one just looks rad. And here's just a picture of all of them together. Um, I think this is actually the 20th anniversary cover, not the foil cover. So the foil cover is based off the 20th anniversary remastered version, which is based off the 2019, sorry, 1999 foil, or sorry, non-foil X-Men #1, Volume 2. I should do more research, eh? All right, moving along. This is number 8. I think I'm losing track. Bear with me, guys. Astonishing X-Men #1 remastered variant. And this is one of those rare modern books. It's not hard to get in 9.8 for population wise. There's 82%. That's a pretty bad ratio. But this one is a 1/1000, which for those that don't know means the comic book dealer, had to buy 1,000 copies of the Astonishing X-Men #1 in order to get one of these in the remastered variant. So it's rare in terms of the pure numbers. Uh, I guess I don't know. The jury's still out there if like the 1/1000s are more rare or like the true limited ones are more rare. The 1/1000 is a little bit harder to decipher how many there are, but regardless, since we have the census and stuff, there's 73 of them out there, which in my opinion, I think that's pretty rare. So love this cover. But the coolest thing about this book is the back. The back here we got Rogue, Scott, Jubilee looking very unimpressed here, and of course Psylocke, Jim Lee Psylocke. Yeah, Jim Lee knew how to draw Psylocke so well. There's a lot of people that try to draw Psylocke and even Rogue, and they just don't nail it. But yeah, Jim Lee just knew how to draw. Yeah, and they're just looking gorgeous, both of those girls with Cyclops here in the middle. Cyclops, for those that haven't read the comics much, Cyclops also had a thing with Psylocke. And Psylocke is now kind of with, well, she had a thing with Angel, and then now she has them with Phantom X. Can't blame them. She's like an Asian ninja. Her backstory is absolutely insane. Spare you guys the details, but yeah, everyone's a big Psylocke fan, so this is, yeah, why I think this is a cool cover. And kind of cheating here again with X-Men #1, but this is kind of the other one, X-Men Blue #1 remastered variant. It's also 1/1000. This one is not as highly sought after. I mean, they're both kind of neck and neck. It's kind of like the set, but if I had to pick one, I would go for this one over this one. This one's kind of like a redo, or it's a page out of one of the earlier books, possibly even #1, and of course Jim Lee remastered. So beautiful artwork. Yeah, Jim Lee just does it right. He's an amazing artist. So this one is not as rare as the Astonishing X-Men #1, but yeah, this is still pretty rare. 76 of them, 73, 3-book difference. So yeah. Moving along, number 8 on my want to buy. Ooh, this is a rough copy. Look at all those spine ticks, color breaking spine ticks on the left here. I have 2 of these, one in 9.6 that I got signed myself, and one in a 9.8 signed. I was so happy when I got my 9.8 back. I bought it blue, 9.8 blue, sent it in, signed for Chris Claremont in pink. He signed pink in the bottom left-hand corner, which I was really happy about. But this one is the newsstand one. And so this is the first US appearance of Psylocke. The first appearance is Captain Britain #8, so a British comic. And why this is important, it's an important key for all Psylocke fans. Cover is just okay, and that's why it's really hard to grade. No one really wanted this book. It wasn't like #1 in the series. Psylocke's not on the cover. It was just the cover itself is just okay. I don't even know who most of these people are. Captain Britain's there, a lot of the New Mutants, I guess. No idea what's going on. Wild Ways. It's just a weird cover. So yeah, in general, like the population, even of the 9.8 of the non-newsstand, it's pretty hard at 11%. I've seen a lot of copies, and even my 9.8, I think the corners are a little bit imperfect. People just didn't take good care of these because they were like, meh, whatever, I don't know what this is. And which is part of the fun, in my opinion. That's how books become very rare when nobody really cares about them. And then it's like, whoa, first appearance of Psylocke. Um, yeah, so that's that. So I want to pick this one up to add to my collection, my PC. Number 9 is Nick's number 3. This one is an interesting one. I've read this book and it's very different. It's rated R. She's kind of like a escort, I guess, in the book, and very different. And like, yeah, she's got claws, of course, and she's um providing services, I guess. And the guy really likes, getting scratched or whatever by her claws. And then in the end, she ends up killing the guy. Uh, yeah, it's a very dark, very different book. Very interesting introduction of Nick's or Laura Kinney. Uh, Laura, I spelled it wrong. No, sorry, K-N-E-Y or X-23. She's kind of, they built her off of Wolverine's genes, and she's the 23rd um, X experiment. So, uh, female Wolverine, I think she's cool character, a lot of runway for her. So yeah, I've always wanted this book. I think it was priced way too high at some point. It's not rare by any stretch of imagination. I'm surprised actually. I guess because it's a more modern book, 2004, but I'm surprised at how many there are in good condition out there, like 2,600 of them and 9.8. I'm pretty impressed for a book that's not number one in the series. The cover is different. I don't think the normal people would like this kind of cover, but yeah, I think it's different. It's kind of neat. So, and last one here, very random, very rare book that probably no one else knows or cares about, but it's Astonishing Ant-Man number 10, the C variant, Jenny Frison variant cover. Uh, it's not really a key, but it's the first Jenny Frison Marvel cover. I think she's a great artist. I kind of like found out about her through Something's Killing the Children. She's done some great covers for that series. And yeah, this is just a fun one that I'd like to pick up to add to my Psylocke collection. It's not rare by any stretch of imagination. Look at the population. It's one of those where the total graded 264 is low because nobody cares about it. I mean, Astonishing Ant-Man, like, does anyone really care? At least get like an X-Men title or something. But anyways, I think this is a really cool cover. So it looks like she's had better days. She's got about, I don't know, 10 arrows and a few other ninja stars in her back. So uh, yeah, so it looks like she's had a rough day there. But super cool cover. I love how her sash is kind of waving around. I mean, I think it's a little long too. It's kind of strange, but great cover. I'd love to add that on to my PC. So anyways, that's pretty much it, guys. Just wanted to share my want list for 2024. This looks kind of weird with this dot in the O, but that's because it's Iron Man there. Or maybe War Machine. No, that should be Iron Man. War Machine's over here. Yeah, so hope you guys like this, and we'll see how many of these I get this year. Some of them probably a little harder than others. This is a dream list, I guess you can say. Some of them may be more attainable than others, but we'll see where we end up at the end of the year. Anyhow, that's pretty much it, guys. Wanted to say thanks again for tuning in. Stop share. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks. Bye.